Hello, folks. Brandon Chapman with you today. It's Monday, June 22nd. It's TheoTRADE's video. And boy, the bulls whiffed 2 weeks in a row. Now, what do I mean by that? You might look at last Monday and say, well, yeah, but we were higher. I get it. Yeah, we had news over the weekend. Yes, we're going to come with some sort of like solution Iran. That solution may have gone away. Who knows, right? But the point is the market jumped, right? We did gap higher. Why did the bulls fail? At the end of the day, the bulls failed because we did not see on that day an imbalance in calls traded versus puts traded. And what happens is when the puts trade, and in this case on Monday, those puts basically, we just walked up that kind of gamma flip level to a higher point, and it just took a little slip for the market to go into selling. And then we saw significant calls, but again, we didn't have that imbalance where we have that negative gamma rolling off and the positive gamma creating stability. And if the market can just muster strength, we just grind as those puts move further out of the money. And then the hedges of the market makers, the dealers, whatever, they're covering those hedges, which creates buying lift. We didn't get any of that. And what happened was we saw the walls close in, and we saw a very tight range early on Tuesday that ended up kind of fading. And we went into that negative gamma. And then same thing happened on Wednesday. We kind of bounced back on Thursday. And then today, notice the S&P is down nearly 1/3%. So again, why did the bulls miss today? Well, if we look at, for example, last week, about 25% of the existing open interest for all expirations expired. It really wasn't replaced today. And all you got to do is start to look at SPY. You look at today's expiration. And if you're familiar with this at all, you'll notice that we're pretty dang light in here, right? Okay, 15,000, 14,000, 11. You got 10, 22. Overall, much lighter coming in today's expiration. And all this volume over here, it's all going to drop off, right? So because today is the expiration for the 22nd June. And so the point is that we came in today pretty light on call open interest and put open interest. We didn't have as much of a stifling call interest that creates that positive gamma structure that it's the dealers sell into as the market goes higher. Well, we saw today, it was pretty light on both sides. And at a point where we could have seen intraday today, we saw initially some lift off the breakout above 748. We stalled out at 750 and then sold off pretty dang hard. And we just glided into the close today, finishing right around 745. Go figure, right? So look at today, what you'll see is, 748, pretty high amount of call open interest. And then we have 750. So we open up here, we push to there, and then we sold off hard to where we sold off to 745 at 14,500 existing open interest and a little bit of negative gamma because that's higher than that. We assume they buy puts and sell calls. And so we saw today was an opening, a potential break above 750 that could easily carry us much higher as these puts work out of the money. That leads to dealer buying as they cover their shorts that are hedging the downside. And we have the stability of the existing kind of gamma structure on the call side that wasn't super high until we get to around that kind of 760 level. And so as I laid out today, the gamma levels for the today and for the week, again, looking at 760 to the upside, 735 to the downside, really being the potential for this week's range and really saying, look, we're pretty balanced in here off the open. We're trading around 750 at the time. Where we could go, 10, 12 points up. We could go 10, 12 points down, and we're pretty balanced. We're not as skewed. But understand something, this gamma structure does change on a day-to-day basis. And as we look at and kind of scroll down here, you'll see this volume over to the right is going to shift, in the left, is going to shift to the right. The volume on the left here is going to shift to some degree to the right tomorrow. And then we'll see, where do we start to build up our negative gamma? And as we look right here, for example, you'll see 744, 46,000, and 70,000. How much of this translates over? Maybe we're starting to build some negative gamma here below 744. And now all of a sudden we got that slippery slope to 735. And then above it, we got the call side. Are we starting to build some upside call gamma? We'll see how much of this moves over from left to right today as we go from volume to open interest. But we're going to start to build this out for tomorrow and for this week. And as we look at this week, we can see the existing kind of open interest. We're building at 745. We're building at 750. Go figure, every $5. We're building down here at 740. and 735, we're building a little bit, but notice on the call side, there's not much there. So as we start to approach 735, we start to see that negative gamma kick in, and if we start to break 735, that's going to carry us really, really quickly to 730. But we may pin there at 735 as we go into the week. So thus, the 735 to 760 being the potential range. And again, we're going to start to see 755, 760, a lot more calls relative to puts. And we're start to see that selling into strength, buying into weakness here. Down here, we're going to sell into weakness and buy into strength. And so we're seeing that negative gamma structure start to pick up here. We'll have to see what happens there. But today was an opportunity. It was an opportunity for the bulls to work through a lesser positive gamma structure and really drive things. Instead, we're down 1/3%. Where are we seeing weakness? Well, if we look at DSPX, what you're seeing is dispersion rising today as Mag 7 stocks are down. Go through the list, right? NVIDIA today, for example, okay, we're down 1%. What about Amazon? Amazon's down 4.75%. We look at Meta, we're looking at communications now, down 2.3%. Google was down 5% today, if not more at one point. We look at Apple, this kind of finished somewhere between, but fell from the high of today's session. You look at Microsoft, down much bigger, finishing near the low of the session, down 3%. What we're seeing is dispersion pick up, but we're seeing more negative dispersion right now as volatility is picking up on the components of the S&P, and the VIX is picking up relatively minimally here, only up about 0.5 point to 17.28. So we do run the risk right now of seeing some negative dispersion really start to enter in. And we start to see selling in the Mag 7 stocks. We start to see volatility in those stocks go up relative to the VIX, causing DSPX to rise as the price in those issues are falling. We saw strength in energy today at our low from April. If you look at forward/CL, oil prices kind of firmed up down here, and a 75 handle on oil is not a bad deal for energy stocks. So if we just see some stabilization, it does lead to some potential here for a rally. The one that doesn't really make a lot of sense today is real estate. It was up 1.24%. Meanwhile, as we look at 20-year plus treasury yields, we saw prices down, yields up. That's not generally supportive for real estate, and utilities didn't exactly buy today, falling from our high, only finishing up about 0.5%. Doesn't seem right in terms of, with the dividend, finishing up 0.5% from Thursday's close last week. But if we look down here, communications, cyclicals, silver and gold down today, probably as the dollar strengthening. And we got NVIDIA down 1%, staples down. And again, we look up here, a very tenuous perch for real estate and utilities. Meanwhile, technology finishing near the middle. Well, what did semiconductors do today? We know what NVIDIA did, but semiconductors generally up 1.37%. Well, if we dig into the Block Hunter console, we can look at block trades, for example. These are trades that are 1,000 or more traded in one print or as a sweep. And if I go to block trades and we look at SMH, we'll look by vol alert here. We look at SMH. They're buying puts out in here, right? Against a zero delta. So this is not necessarily close, but last Thursday we saw a significant put volume in semiconductor companies. We're seeing SMH traded today way out of the money. What we're building right now on Thursday of last week in DRAM, buying $60 puts. We're seeing it in SMH. We're seeing it in SOXX. We're seeing it in all these periphery the last couple of sessions. We're not realizing the downside yet, but understand we're building a negative gamma structure, and that structure is moving higher. DRAM as well at 60. So again, we're seeing this gamma structure start to build to the downside. We may see it start to increase in terms of raising the strike price, getting closer to the current stock price. And as we start to see this imbalance come in on the buy side and the put side in big quantities, it's just showing the institutions are building that bearish position. Not exactly a hedge when you're trading zero deltas, but understand we're seeing this bearish trade being created in semiconductors over the last two trading sessions. So as we get back to the SPY today, we had a couple of big kind of maybe dark pool prints here, 747.85, 753.88. We're currently below that rather, that's creating downside pressure. We look at the put to call ratio in here on the S&P, pretty balanced between puts and calls. We're trading at a high level. We're starting to build this structure going forward. But if you look at XLK, right? XLK today, we're seeing what? Double the calls traded relative to puts, right? So we're seeing a lot more calls traded today. Again, does this indicate that we're buying, right? 44% at the ask. We're seeing this window of opportunity for the bulls to do something. Again, buying calls there. Are they buying calls to close? Maybe some of that is closing. The biggest prints today were buying puts as an opening trade, right? Those were the blocks were on SMH, for example. But understand something. This kind of structure does help create a bullish and stabilizing result for XLK if it can get higher. It's on the bulls right now to support the structure, extend the structure. That's what didn't happen today for the S&P 500 generally. It didn't happen in the Mag 7 names. And as a result, we're back in this position. We're sitting on Gamma's edge, and we might start to see more puts get created below, and then a small break starts to exacerbate the downside selling in a negative Gamma structure. So right now, 735, 760 looks like that range for the week. We'll see which side we really approach or test. If we can get to the upside here and we see that kind of stalling in the Gamma structure, building that downside case, not rolling it higher, start to see more calls than puts being traded, maybe we can build a structure that does carry us to a brand new fresh all-time high. But if we continue to fail, we start to see more puts added, start to see the imbalance on the put side, we might start to see something different materialize, and that's the downside. And that's what ultimately dispersion was reflecting today, the downside risks elevating as we're seeing some of the biggest stocks right now experiencing rather significant selling, and the periphery of semiconductors, the ecosystem around SMH kind of carrying things. And we look at SpaceX today, SpaceX down, 16%. We saw that open interest. We saw that existing implied volatility flip back here on the 17th. And again, we're seeing a lot of these big names, big cap names, not really being able to hold it together. So realize there are risks, and we may see the structure start to favor some downside volatility expansion. But right now, we're kind of holed up here in this range, and we might have a chance. The bulls, this is their opportunity right now to drive the market higher and kind of defy the structure. Again, we'll see if that gets created. Well, folks, that's all I got for today. Catch you back next week on the video, but I talk about Gamma exposure levels every single day. We talk about big option market, block trades, etc. every single day. This is the console that I developed. Anyway, this is the stuff I talk about every single day during my session on TheoTRADE. Hope to see you there. Thank you.